So I knew I had to sing that song. Well, Karen was good. I asked Karen to sing that song at Global 2 Center, which she probably is just finishing. And she said to me, she goes, well, then you should sing it there. And I was like, I will, good. And then I didn't give it another thought. And I woke up yesterday morning and went, I don't know the lyrics. I've never sang this song. I don't know the lyrics. So I woke up and I thought, I'm going to go spend an hour at the gym. I should just do a loop of the song in my ears. So I put my earbuds in, and I went to the gym, and I did a loop. And I just am singing the whole time. But picture this. As I am singing, I mean, I wasn't singing out loud. I mean, they'd take me away. But I'm just singing in my head. But all around me at the gym are video monitors showing me the war in Ukraine. Every channel is showing what's going on. And I'm like, peace is possible. But I'd see it all. And I was like, isn't it interesting? If we are the result of our thinking, then we are just perpetrating this war over and over and over again. It's not that we shouldn't be aware. We should be aware. But what mindset are we aware with? And I was sitting there, standing there, laying there, doing all the things I do at the gym, and all of a sudden I was like, this is it. This is how it works. There's the war. There's the horrible things that are happening to humanity on the screen. But I am singing, peace is possible. You can throw anything you want at me. I will not shift from peace is possible. Because the truth is, if you look at some of Karen's lyrics, people say a lot of things to us, like, you're one person. What can you do, Dale? You're one person. Well, yes, and no, because I'm not really one person. And Ernest Holmes said it very smartly. If you would give me that slide. Ernest Holmes said this: one alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. So that's actually saying to you, don't be a lemming. Don't just follow what everybody's thinking. Be willing to think what you think. And I love that. One alone, one tiny little Reverend Dale, who's a giant in the world, yes? Do you all want to tell me how great her talk was last week? Yeah. Some ministers may think, she's getting really good. Not me. I'm like, oh my God, I just want her to pass me, which you won't. But you're going to come right to me, because I don't believe in better or worse. I just believe in comrades, colleagues. So, but we believe this thing. I'm one person. What can I do? I can sit in a gym and sing peace is possible for an hour while everybody else is watching the news, while everybody else is listening to the news, while everybody else is saturating themselves with the idea that peace is not possible over there. And he will not stop till he levels that country. And that's what we're being told. And maybe that will happen. But you know what? Even if he doesn't stop until he levels that country, he will not level that people, and those people will rise up, build that country back, and then we will be right where we need to be. Yes? But it's going to take us as a community to be willing to stand alone in consciousness and be the complete majority of peacekeepers. That's why we're raising this money today. That is why we're sending food over there. That is why we are going to be part of the resolution, not the problem. Right on. Thank you, Barry. And I think that is so important for all of us. So the title of my talk today is this: What's Possible? What's possible? And I'm talking about you. And I want you to look at that great picture that the Reverend Laurie got for me. There's a guy laying on a thing that he built before planes existed, who believed it was possible to, I don't know, to push that off a cliff and then see what happens. That takes a lot of guts. I almost went in the complete wrong direction. That takes a lot of guts to believe enough in that, and to believe enough that everything is possible if I imagine it. My imagination is a ripe place for everything that wants to come forward to come forward. So somewhere someone figured that out. Somewhere along the line, people understood they could walk far enough and not fall off the earth because it was round. Even though if you go Google it, there are still people that believe it's flat. But, some people just take some time to figure it out. So my question today is, what's possible? So I want to really just get real here. What is possible for you in your life? And just take a moment and ask yourself. You're living a life based on the things you think are possible. So I'm just asking you, what's possible? I remember when Will was in his senior year of high school, and he asked me, do you think I'm really going to be able to go to college? And I said, why wouldn't you be able to go to college? He said, I don't know, geography, history, math. And he said, I really don't know if I'm going to graduate from high school. And I said, Will, yes, you at the moment are really bad at math. You believe you're bad at math, and you keep showing up bad at math. Algebra, you have no concept for what it is. And how many people here have children or grandchildren? Have they ever asked you to help them with their math, and you look at it and you're like, I have no idea what you are looking at. We did 3 + 3 = 9, 6. I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree. My God, 3 + 3 is 6, wow. I do know other things, just so you know. But he was really worried, and frankly, we didn't know if he was going to pass. Up to the day of graduation, we showed up, and we didn't know if he was getting on that stage. I don't know, these teachers are torturing these kids. They're like, we'll tell you if we read your name, you've graduated. Catholic high school. So, suffer, and then see what happens. So, anyway, his name was called, and can I tell you this? He graduates from Texas State University in May, mid-May. He is on the dean's list. He graduates top of his class, and he got a B in math. And I asked him, I said, where were you in high school? He said, you know what, Dad, in high school, I don't know what happened, but I was told I was bad at math. We all just agreed I was bad at math. But when I got into college, I was like, I'm tired of being bad at math. I'm just going to look at it and see what it is. He got a B. I'm just amazed and so proud of him. But here's the thing. He didn't believe that at first, so it wasn't true. So when I ask you a question, what's possible, you're answering that question based on certain beliefs that put the limit on what you think is possible. This is possible because I'm a woman. This is possible because I'm this tall. This is possible. I wanted to play the Phantom in the Phantom of the Opera. I auditioned for Hal Prince so many times, and he kept saying, you're just like an inch too short. And it was true. I was an inch too short. They had to be 6 foot at least. And I say I'm 6 feet? Not. I'm like 5'10 and a half, 5'11 with my new lifts. But I wasn't 6 feet. And you had to be for certain mechanics of the show. Same thing with the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. You had to be over 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2". So, I can't change that. But they've changed the technology, and now you can be any height to play the Phantom. So you never know. Maybe they'll want a geriatric Phantom soon. So I really want you to ask yourself that question. What is possible in your life? Not what could happen, but what is possible. Because when we say what could happen, we're actually believing something else is going to make it happen. We're actually thinking, well, something could come along and this could happen for me. This could happen. No, this could not happen without you being equal to it. And when we say equal, we mean the consciousness, your mind is equal to it. So what's possible for you in your life? So the lyric, she says, if I'm dreaming, what a wonderful dream to share. So let's keep dreaming because reality is waiting there. Reality is waiting for you to decide what it's going to be. There's no such thing as a reality outside of you. Do you know, we all know from advanced consciousness this week, there's no such thing as the objective world for any of us because none of you can be objective. Do you know that? I know some of you are like, I can be objective. No, you can't. Not unless you get every belief, thought, idea out of your head, empty it completely, and that's not possible, and then approach something. Because you look at everything from your perspective, no matter what. You cannot be objective. You are always subjective. You are always just knowing from your point of view. So it's a really big question. If reality is waiting for you, it's waiting for you to get your ideas out of the way to see what wants to come up, what's possible. So I'll ask you again, what is possible in your life? You may have things that you think are impossible. You may think there's no money for you coming your way. You may think, I live on a fixed income. Do you know what I tell people when they tell me they live on a fixed income? And no offense, please, no offense. I say, who fixed it? Seriously. And usually they answer me like I'm actually asking a serious question, which I'm not. It's rhetorical. But some people will say, well, the government, this is how much I get. I'm like, oh, really? No. We fix it. We fix our income. We decide we're living on our Social Security and our other stuff, pension. Thank you. You're like, pension. Yes, right? We say we're living on that. How do you know you don't have an Aunt Tilly in India who leaves you $7 million? Would you like that? You just want to are you going to call her? Don't. I'm kidding, but I'm not. We either live in a universe that is constantly bringing forward whatever we are equal to, or we don't. And I say we do. And I know we do. Thich Nhat Hanh said this: we have more possibilities available in each moment than we realize. There is no such thing. You know, Dr. Laura and I were on a conference call, maybe a year ago or 9 months ago, where we were told point blank, it's black and white. And I said, nothing is black and white other than the mind that says it's black and white. That's the truth. It is always possible. Anything is possible. You, though, may have some black and white ideas of your life. This is who I am. This is what I've been doing all my life. Why would it change? Well, here's why it would change. Because none of that matters, and none of this matters, and here you are. In this moment, we have more possibilities than we could ever imagine. So I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask it all day, even at bingo. I'm going to ask you, what is possible in your life? What's possible for you? Just start thinking. What do you want to be possible? Just ask yourself, allow yourself. Deepak Chopra said this. He said, you and I are essentially infinite choice makers. In every moment of our existence, we are in that field of all possibilities where we have access to the infinity of choices. So I have a question for you. With an infinity of choices, which ones are you making? I mean, think about that. With an infinity of choices, what choices are you making? Are you making the same choices every day? Do you get up and have the same? Oh my God, I do. I was just going to say, do you get up and eat the same thing every day? I kind of do. I have a protein drink every day. I may have to change that. So in this infinity of choices, what new choices, perhaps, could you start making? I love that Nancy, she sang for us a number of weeks ago, that here she is in her third act, in her Jane Fonda third act, and she's changing everything in her life. She's going back to her singing. She's teaching voice. She's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to just start doing it all over again, and in a new way, a unique way. So what choices do you think, here's a question, what choices do you think you don't have? Because you do, no matter what it is. So when I think about what's going on in the Ukraine, there's so many conversations going on with this. And I could hear a lot of them at the gym, people talking about them. the thing that really strikes me is that what's going on in the Ukraine is going on in many places in this world. But not that we weren't aware of it, but we weren't seeing it. So we just kind of ignore, it's over there, it's in that far corner of the world. The persecution of gays and lesbians in countries, and I mean absolute persecutions of them. These things are going on all over the world. And I'm not saying this to get us more depressed or to make this a darker moment. In fact, what I'm saying is we have to be aware of what's going on in the world, but then we have to be aware of our responsibility to know the truth. Because when you say, and she says in the song, what can one person do? One person can know the truth so profoundly that the ripples of that mind singing, peace is possible, send those ripples. We live in a world of one infinite, dynamic exchange of energy. Your energy, your mind, your thoughts, your vibrations, and you, Don, what you bring to the world with what you have in your heart to give, that is sending ripples out into the universe. You think you can't change this world? You think, as the song says, I get all emotional, that this world's too big for one person to change? I can change this world because I can change my mind. You can change this world because you can change your mind. You do not have to listen and buy into everything, the doom and gloom of the world. You have to know it, understand it's there, and then know the truth about it. Just as I said earlier, Putin may level a country, but he's not going to level the consciousness of that country. And that consciousness will rise up. And so does yours. Yours gets to rise up every single moment you actively engage it with something profoundly positive and spiritually sound and founded. So my last slide is this, from Zig Ziglar. Don't you love Zig? I love his name. Zig Ziglar. The person who dumps garbage into your mind will do you considerably more harm than the person who dumps garbage on your floor. Because each load of mind garbage negatively impacts your possibilities and lowers your expectations. Okay, who has too much garbage in their mind? Apparently Gilmore, okay? It's a really important question. I'm here to ask you today, this is my job today, to ask you, please take out the garbage. Really. You know what happens when you leave the garbage in your kitchen too long? Especially after you've cooked fish? Imagine all that fish in your head just sitting there. So I think Zig Ziglar has given us an amazing directive. This month is release. It is time to release the garbage. I could say release the Kraken, but release the garbage. Just thank you. Just let it out. First, identify it. Notice it. Notice when your mind goes off. Notice when you start thinking negative things. Notice when you start getting depressed. Notice what brought you there, and then take it out. You know, I have an expression that sounds sarcastic when I say, when people annoy me, I'm like, highest and furthest. I bless you, I know you're highest, and I would like you to be furthest from me. You know, and it sounds sarcastic, does it? It sounds honest, doesn't it? Right, because we can bless people and still not have dinner with them. Yes, meaning forgive everything doesn't mean forget everything. And it doesn't mean just throw yourself down on the floor to be a doormat again. That is not what we teach. We teach everyone is God. But not everyone is living at the highest level of God. So stay awake, be aware, pay attention, and really start understanding where your garbage is. What's going on here? I love that. The person who dumps garbage into your mind, know who in your life brings the garbage. Do you have anybody in your life that shows up and is doom and gloom? It's like, oh, it's cloudy today. I lost my job. No one loves me. There was a guy in a show I was doing, Candide. It was a show I met Kevin on. And he was gorgeous. He was like 6'2". I mean, gorgeous. I mean, he got the part I wanted, which is ironic because I wanted to play Maximilian. I never thought of myself as a Candide, but I got the starring role. He got to play Maximilian, which made sense because I was smaller and worked out. But he had this big, low self-esteem. There's some garbage. Who has low self-esteem garbage that needs to go out? That's a big one. You are worth so much more than you even think you are. But another talk. So he's standing here, and we're ready to go out for a song. And he turned to me, and next to him is this 6-foot gorgeous chorus girl. She's got like this outfit on, like, I won't even describe it, but it's pretty sexy. And she's just standing there waiting to go out. And he turns to me and he goes, I feel like nobody likes me. To which she said, go with that thought. And walked onto stage. And I was like, I don't know what to say. And I just went out and started singing, life is happiness indeed. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not saying names. So I kid, that was true, but it really is time in this month of release to get rid of all that stuff in our head. It's really time to take out the garbage. Because you know what's going to be left? A clean, aerated, possible mind that is ready to fill itself with every possibility you can imagine. You want more adventure? There you go. You've got space for it now. You want more prosperity? Now you have room for it. You want more love in your life? Now you have room for it. You want more creativity? You want to be used better, bigger, wider, expansive? Now you've got room for it because you've taken out the garbage. You've gotten rid of all the stuff that distracts you. Now you are ready to stand right in yourself and stand there and say, what's possible? Everything is possible. Namaste.